I will be right back with Sophie Rubin. Well, I'm here with a very special guest. This is Sophie Rubin. Hi, Sophie.
Hi.
Welcome. So how old are you?
7.
You're 7 years old and you like to quilt.
Yes, I do.
How long have you been quilting?
Oh, about 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. So how you were about 3 years old?
I was about 4 or 5, something like that.
Okay. All right. So you've been quilting for a few years. Now let's look at your sewing machine because you have a very beautiful little sewing machine here. Looks like you decorated it.
Yes, and all the decorations are on the back. We had a lot of trouble with one of them.
What did you put on there?
We put, on the front we put fun.
And are they stickers?
Yes.
Okay.
And on this side we put happy. And on the top we put Sophie Sews.
Well, it's really fun to kind of personalize your machines like that. So you have a really pretty looking machine. So when you go to it with when you take your fabric to it, you feel good about yourself. So let's take a look at this piece because this was actually how you started to learn to quilt, right?
Yes.
So you just take a strip of fabric, and this is a good beginning activity to just learn how to use the presser foot and the foot pedal.
Yeah, and as I started, I went along, and this is with my new, and this is a new machine. Well, this is with my old machine and my new machine.
Okay.
Well, mostly with my new machine because you can see these different designs.
So you were playing around with the zigzag stitch and the straight stitch, and you can see you probably got better the more you practiced, and your straight stitch got a little bit straighter.
Yeah, and this one. See.
Right near us?
Yeah, the one next to us. This one I started with after I did them apart. I started to do it together.
I see. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't we start sewing?
Okay.
I'd love to learn about that. Well, let's take a look at some of these strips because another good tip is to use these little strip stacks that they sell on the market. And so you already have the size of the strips that you want. And it looks like you like batiks.
Yes, I do. And I'm going to start matching these up and sewing.
And you do right sides together?
Yes.
Now, do you pin?
Sometimes I do.
But you actually don't like to pin too much. You just like to go right to the machine.
Yeah. This time I'm going to pin.
You're going to pin this time, okay. Oh, I love your little pin cushions. These are beautiful.
I have one big one and one small one.
And since you're Chinese, this is very beautiful. This is a nice way to remember your heritage.
These both are Chinese, but this one you can see the kimonos. Well, these two are like mostly like the clothes.
So these are special fabrics from China, it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at this. Are you going to pin this now, or did you just want to go to the machine? Okay,
I'm going to pin it.
Here, want some help with that? Yeah. Here, let me do that for you.
Thanks.
And as we're doing this, let's talk about some of the stuff that you have on your machine to help you sew. Do you have tiger tape on there?
Yeah, this is the tiger tape. It's black and white, as you can see.
And that just helps to kind of guide where your strip's going as you're sewing. Is that right?
Yeah.
So that's a great thing for a kid to have. That's a great little sewing aid. All right, I put a couple of pins in here for you, Sophie. Why don't we take this right to the machine and see what happens?
Take it to the machine.
And let's talk about that very special foot you have there. Looks like a 1/4-inch foot with a blade, am I right?
Yes, you are right.
And that just helps guide it along.
Yes. And you always want to be at the end of the tiger tape. You always want to be right there at the tiger tape. So you can actually follow along the tiger tape.
And just match up your strip to the tiger tape, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
You always want to match up the tiger tape with it. With the blade on the end.
Is your presser foot down?
Yes.
Okay. Looks like you're ready to go.
Now you always want to take out the pin, if you have a pin, before it gets to the needle.
Because you don't want your needle going through that pin, do you?
No.
No, that wouldn't be good. Here, I'll take that for you.
Thank
Put
you.
it right back in your beautiful pin cushion. And you're using some beautiful blue and purple thread that your mom designed, didn't she?
Yes, she did. I really like it because on the end, it says Sophie Rubin.
Oh, that's your mom.
And I really like it because it's like really nice.
It is nice. And it makes it's special to sew with your mom's thread.
Yes, it is.
So why don't you sew just a little bit more, and then we'll take that off of the machine and have a look at it. You're being very careful to stay straight right on that tiger tape, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And it's very, very hard.
Coming up to a needle. I saw that one coming.
And yes, you want to be sure that you don't get it under the needle, or else you're in
Big
it
trouble?
would be hard to get it out before you press on the foot again.
All right, are you going to finish that strip?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you're just using a straight stitch, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Do you have that same thread in the bobbin too?
Yes.
Okay. It looks like you're about done.
Well, actually, it's a gray thread in the bobbin.
Okay. But you could have put that top thread in there if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I didn't want to.
Okay.
And it was
some days we
Mom's.
do, some days we don't.
Yeah.
So you're going to cut that off and
And
bring
then
that
I
over
have
here
to
for us to
cut
see.
the thread of peel, and no, not those.
Well, Sophie, come on over here back to the table because I want to talk about these quilts, the quilt tops that you've made. You actually chose these fabrics and you pieced these together, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Nice job. And tell me about these quilts. Where are these quilts going?
They're going to Haiti to help out from the hurricane. Oh, actually,
From
it's
the earthquake?
Yeah, the earthquake. I've actually sewed these together. I picked out this fabric, and then Mom and one of our staff members sewed this together.
And put a binding on it and quilted it. And these are going to the orphans in Haiti. And the orphans are an important cause for you because you were an orphan in China, weren't you?
Yes, I was. And I actually do like to talk about it sometimes.
Well, that's great. And this is a great way to share your fortune and your passion for orphans to give it to those other kids in Haiti. Sophie, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.